everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. When you let your nuts hang.
Let's get into it. Okay, I have 45 minutes to my next client, so I'm gonna try to make this as little as parts as we can go. Hold on. So boom. Let's start with my bestie bitch. Some of you may know, I have a podcast with her that is dead and gone. So let's start. I've known her since I was 15, okay? That's the basis. I've known her since I was 15. When I was still in Florida, I lived with her for a year. I was roommates with her, her fiance, and another girl who we will not mention. Well, we'll mention later. But I was friends with them. All four of us lived together for a year before I moved to Texas. During this year, obviously, trials, tribulations, we got to know each other very much more than we have ever known each other, considering we were living together. Oh my God, gee. Okay. I can't get too much into us living together because that's a whole nother story. But let's fast forward. April, I moved to Texas. I moved to Texas within a week. Y'all already know the background to that. $300 to my name, drove 17 hours, packed my car, and dipped. Okay, so we'll start with I'm driving to Texas. She texts me while I'm driving to Texas. Mind you, I'm already 6 hours away. She's cussing me out because there was things everywhere that I couldn't bring with me. So she was like, you left it a mess. This is bullshit. La, 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 la. And I told her, I was like, well, the things that I didn't throw away were things I wanted to keep but could no longer fit in the vehicle when I was driving. So I left it and told you guys to get rid of it, or I'd have my family pick it up to throw it away. Did that happen? No. She threw everything I owned that I couldn't bring away. And then I just keep driving. So she's pissy. She doesn't want to talk to me or whatever. I get to Texas. When I get out here, obviously I'm struggling hard as fuck. Like, I was struggling so bad when I first got out here, y'all have no fucking clue. I was working 14 to 18 hour days, back to fucking back, no breaks, completely burnt out. And then here comes, oh my God, bro, here comes the fucking wedding. Okay, let's get this shit. Oh, okay. So she got engaged April of 2023. I was at her engagement when he proposed. She got engaged April 2023. I moved April 2024, right? So she'd been engaged a year. They've been together 5 years. They engaged a year, April 2024. August this year, she's texting me. She's like, I just fired the maid of honor. Bro. So for her wedding, the plan was I was going to play the piano as she walked down the aisle, and the other 3 bridesmaids were going to stand up there with her, and I was going to wear the bridesmaid's dress because I was just playing the piano. I didn't need to stand up there. I was not tripping, right? August, she fires her cousin as the maid of honor because her cousin was like, I honestly didn't think you were going to get married. Why didn't we think she was going to get married? Because the bitch is in love with her fucking guy best friend from when she was a kid, still to this day, mind you, and kept saying, oh, I want to see him. I want to go see him. I love him. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in a love triangle. I love him. I don't want to get married. I hate marriage. Bitch, we know. We literally did not think she would walk down that aisle. I didn't think she was walking down that aisle when she walked down the fucking aisle, baby. Literally. So she had fired her cousin from being the maid of honor because she hadn't planned shit. So mind you, they've been engaged now a year and a half, and the wedding's not even fucking planned. There's nothing planned, baby. You're having monthly meetings with the bridesmaids. Y'all aren't doing shit. So August, she fires the maid of honor because she decides, okay, I actually want to plan my wedding. Be so fucking for real, baby. Be so fucking for real. You want to plan your wedding now. So boom. She's like, okay, I fired the maid of honor. You have to stand up there with me. Just record the song. Like, just stand up there with me now because now I'm down a bridesmaid. So you don't have to play the piano when I walk. I'm like, okay, boom. I get my dress. Don't have the money to get the dress, had to put it on Afterpay. I get the dress. Then she's like, can you make press-ons for the bridal party? Y'all know I'm a nail tech. I make press-ons. I made 3 sets of custom press-ons for the bridal party in the colors for her wedding. And then she's like, okay. I tell her, well, I was like, well, she was crashing out, depressed, freaking out. I'm like, well, I'll fly to Florida and then I'll fly with you to Puerto Rico because it's a destination wedding. I fly with her to Florida, fly with you to Puerto Rico, and then I'll fly back to Texas. Mind you, at this point, y'all, little backstory, I was struggling so bad. I was about to get evicted at this point. And I was like, oh, I told her, I said, I can't fly to Florida first. Like, I'm going to have to meet you in Puerto Rico. She goes, well, she was like, you want me to die? You want me to kill myself? Wow, you hate me. And I'm like, okay, bitch, I'll fly to fucking Florida. I buy a one-way flight to Florida and a checked bag. I buy a one-way flight to Puerto Rico on the same flight as her and a checked bag. I buy a one-way flight home back to Texas and a checked fucking bag. That's already $700 that I didn't fucking have, baby. That's my rent already. So, so she's like, yeah, you're going to stand up there with me. Okay, cool. So I bought all these flights. I did all this shit. I made all the custom press-ons. I get to Florida. Okay, cool. She's so happy and excited. We immediately start doing shit for the wedding because she told me a week before I bought my flights, I need you to do my hair and makeup too. She was like, this lady wants to charge me $400 for hair and makeup. Can you do it for me? I'm like, yeah, girl, you're my bestie. I'll do your hair and makeup too. So when I get to Florida, mind you, I've already made custom press-ons and not paid for them. I get to Florida, bro, and we immediately go buy shit. So for her makeup and things of that nature, I had brought stuff for her makeup, but she also needed to get her foundation and all that other shit as well. So first night there, she's like, I need you to make cornbread because I make the best homemade cornbread. I make her cornbread. I buy that shit. And then I'm telling her before I even get there, I don't have money, bro. All the money I spent was on my flights and to get here. And I also get paid Friday, which is the day before your wedding. So I don't have the funds to be doing all of this shit. She knows that from jump. She knows I didn't have it from jump. But I'm doing it for her because I love her. She's my best fucking friend. So I get there. We do all that shit. I got there, I want to say Saturday night. Sunday or Saturday, I can't remember. But I get there that night. The next day, it was Saturday night I got there. Sunday, we wake up, we go get more shit for her wedding and everything, makeup and hair shit. And then she's like, I need you to dye my hair black and we're going to do a trial of your makeup and hair. So we go to her parents' house because it's Sunday. We always go to her parents' house. On Sundays, that's usually was the routine. So we go there. She's pissy, got an attitude. I start dyeing her hair. My fingers are purple. Her fingers are purple. Mind you, I wore gloves. She's washing her hair. She doesn't want me to wash it for her. So she's washing it. Her hands are purple and all this shit. And she's freaking out. She's like, I hope it gets rid of by the time for the wedding. I'm like, yeah, it probably will. No worries. I start styling her hair. She's pissy. It doesn't look like the Pinterest photo. No shit, you have a different hair texture. It's not gonna look like the fucking Pinterest photo. You don't have thick fucking hair. So I do that. She's like, I did 2 fishtails. I'm gonna put a picture here of what the trial looked like. This was the trial of her hair and makeup. And then I did her makeup. She said it was too makeup-y. She wanted more of a natural look. So I said, okay, cool. Day of the wedding, we'll do something more natural. Whatever. All that shit's done. And then Sunday night, she takes me to my family's house because I went to go see my mom and my brother. Mind you, I'm struggling so bad. When I got to my fucking family's house, I broke down crying because of how stressed I was and all the shit I'm going through while I was in Texas. I just moved halfway across the fucking country with nothing. And I'm trying to make it on my own. So I broke down. My mom's comforting me, all that shit. I stayed with my family until Tuesday morning, some shit like that. Why did I even come to Florida, bitch? Why did you want me to come? You didn't even fucking want me. Like, I didn't have to come to spend time with you because you were crashing out. Mind you, I spent most of the fucking time in Florida with my family. You're about to piss me off. Fuck. Then oh my God, bro. Then her husband picks me up and we go head back to her fucking place. And G, from there on out, I was really ready to put a 2-piece in somebody's jugular. I was so fucking over it at this point. Okay. So boom. Now, okay. Oh my God. Okay, so her husband picks me up from my mom's house Tuesday afternoon, like 11, 12 o'clock. Me and him be chilling. I don't really got too much bad shit to say about him, to be honest. Honestly, I feel bad for him for all the shit that she be fucking doing. I don't have nothing bad to say about that man. I ain't gonna hold you. He picked me up. We chilling, vibing to music. That's usually what we do when I'm in the car with him. So we go to her house and she's like, oh, we need to get food or whatever, blah blah blah. She wanted to get a pedicure, so she goes to get a pedicure. I didn't get one because, mind you, I'm a nail tech. I already got my fucking pedicure before I got here for free. Okay. We go to get the pedicure. My job texts me, the salon texts me, and they want me to run the Instagram page. So while we're getting her pedicure, I start doing that because I started that day. So I'm literally working on my phone. She gets a pissy attitude because I'm not paying attention to her. Girl, I gotta make my money. I literally took a week off of work, no clients, to come out here. Like, I have to make money still. What are you not understanding, right? So I'm doing all that, and then she's upset. There's some issues with the flights or whatever, so now I have to handle that for her as well. And I'm messaging like Spirit so they can get her flights fixed and everything. We get in the car, we head back to her place. I haven't eaten all day at this point, right? Because I don't have the money to buy food. So I'm not eating. So we get to the house, and she's like mad at me because I don't want to eat. I don't have money to eat. So she's like yelling at me. She goes, bitch, eat, get something out of the fridge, whatever. Like, so I made something, like fish sticks or something I eat. They're doing wedding shit. And then, she's like, oh, what's your business? My business, because I have a tax business for my nail stuff. She's like, can you give me like your business tax information? I'm putting it on my wedding stuff. I say, yeah, sure. I give it to her. Mind you, I didn't get paid for any of this shit. But we do that, and then we're chilling. It was like a little break, and then she's like, oh, we have to go to, her dad teaches Tai Chi, so we go do that. After Tai Chi, she's like, we're finna go get food. What do you want to eat? I said, I don't have money to buy food. I'm not eating with y'all. So now she's mad at me because I don't want to buy food with them. I don't have the money for that. You have a husband who's paying for your fucking food. I am single. I do not have money to be going out to eat all the fucking time. And I've told her this, so she's got to ask about that. We get back to her apartment after they get food or whatever. I didn't eat. And we start packing for her wedding. She hadn't packed shit. She hadn't prepped shit for the wedding. So we start packing for the wedding. She had made a group chat for the Airbnb, right? Because we're all staying in a giant Airbnb. The wedding party's staying there, and a couple of other friends and shit. We're all staying together in this huge house in Puerto Rico. She makes the group chat. She goes, oh, this is kind of like a Jersey Shore, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, I'll, like, for your wedding, because I'm a good fucking person. I'm like, I'll record, like, the Airbnb, like a Jersey Shore reality TV show shit. I'm like, I'll do that. That's cool. Whatever. Someone just bring a tripod, because I didn't bring that. They're like, okay, bet. So we watch Jersey Shore while we're packing for the wedding. She's freaking out. Oh, it's not fitting. It's not fitting. I'm like, okay, well, I bought a checked bag specifically so you could do this. So she put some of her shit in my checked bag, because I didn't really bring much. We do all of that. We're up till 2 a.m. They went to sleep at 12:30. I was up till 2 a.m. working for the Instagram page, making content. I go to sleep at 2. They wake up late at 6:30 because we have to drive to Orlando to catch our flight to Puerto Rico. We wake up late, 6:30. We were supposed to already be gone by 6:30. We wake up late, 6:30. We go downstairs to put everything in the fucking car. We get in her car. Her trunk is full of bullshit. She never emptied out her trunk. So now she's pissy because she's like, oh, it's full. We have to pack. I say, just get in the car. Me and your husband will, take everything out of the trunk, put it upstairs. So that's what we're doing. And then he starts taking his sweet ass time upstairs. And I'm like, bro, we're already fucking late. Hurry the fuck up. He's like, I'm coming. 15 minutes go by at 6:45. We finally get everything in the car. He gets in the car. Car has no gas. We have to drive to Orlando. It's got a quarter tank of gas. So now she's like, there's no gas in the car. We didn't put gas. Bitch, you were supposed to do this shit yesterday. And you're pissy. So I'm trying to calm her down, and like we're yapping. I'm keeping her happy and good spirits because I'm like, I don't want you to be sad, depressed. You're about to get married. Like I'm trying to keep her in good spirits. We make it to Buc-ee's like an hour away or whatever. We fill up the gas tank and then we make it to the airport on time, which was shocking as fuck. We get through security. We get there. Her mother-in-law, her sister-in-law, and the baby were there. So we see them. We're having a good time. She's freaking out. She's freaking out because she brought her wedding dress as her carry-on, and she was hoping they wouldn't charge her for it because it's Spirit, and they didn't charge her for it. We get on the flight. We get on the fucking flight. Ooh, bitch. Hold on, because there's other shit going on right now. So we get on the fucking plane. We have to swap seats. And we're swapping seats because my best friend wants me to sit next to her. She's not good on planes. She gets sick and she stays awake the whole time. And her mother-in-law wants to sit next to her daughter and the baby. So we end up swapping seats, and it's a fucking packed flight. We do all of that. I stay up with her the whole fucking 3-hour flight or whatever. Mind you, I've gotten 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and I'm up with her. And usually I sleep on planes, but I know she gets sick, so I always stay up with her on planes to make sure she's okay, so she doesn't get sick. So she has someone who's up with her and like talks to her and keeps her. So we're playing Nintendo Switch. We're living best life, right? Bro, we get to Puerto Rico. We go to the Airbnb. Everybody who's flying in starts landing and all this stuff. So we start getting stuff for the Airbnb. She has to go pick up wedding stuff because she did a completely DIY wedding, destination wedding. She has family in Puerto Rico, so it was a little easier, but we're doing all of that. And mind you, I start getting overstimulated at this point. I'm getting overstimulated. I'm getting irritated as fuck. And I'm trying to like be nice, right? Because it's people I know, but I'm like getting irritated. It's just too much going on. We're running around Walmart and shit. Everyone's getting stuff. I didn't get anything. I don't have fucking money. I'm not buying anything. So she's getting stuff for her wedding. I'm basically like, okay, you need to get this instead of this. The maid of honor is also trying to get stuff. She's calling me. I'm calling her. The matron of honor didn't do a goddamn thing. She's just running around with us, pissing me off. Pissing me off. Because my best friend's coming to me for fucking everything. She's coming to me or she's coming to maid of honor, and we're two is like basically running the shit, trying to make sure everything gets done and we get everything she needs. So we do all of that. Everyone's noticed I'm kind of overstimulated. I even said I'm overstimulated, y'all. There's just too much going on. And then we head back to the Airbnb as things start to calm down. But when we get back to the Airbnb, I now start recording for her fucking Jersey Shore reality shit. And I'm like, great. So I start recording for her Jersey Shore reality shit. I'm making them do confessionals, all of this. We're all talking, trying to get to know each other a little better. And then I Irished goodbye halfway through the fucking night because I'm exhausted. I haven't slept and there's too much shit going on. So I dip out and Irished goodbye. The next morning I wake up. It's Thursday, which is bachelorette party day. Now, this is where shit is like, starts to get really bullshit while we're there in Puerto Rico. It starts to get really bullshit while we're there in Puerto Rico for Bachelorette Day. I wake up like 10 a.m. My best friend and her husband went to go take pictures. The maid of honor went to go help with venue stuff, and the maid of honor's downstairs and she has all the decorations out or whatever. And then she's like, oh, we have to set up. And I'm like, okay. So I start helping her. Why does she fucking dip out in the middle of me decorating, and then I have to do all the shit by myself? I decorated the whole fucking thing by myself while two of the guys were like, helping me put balloons up and stuff. Other than that, I did the whole shit by myself. She comes back and starts putting out food or whatever, and then my best friend's upstairs and she's starting to get irritated and bored because we're not letting her come down to see the decorations. So she's texting me, blowing up my phone, and I'm like, here this girl go again. And the matron of honor is like, is she texting you? And I'm like, yeah, she's always texting me. I talk to this bitch every day, all day. She's like, I haven't talked to her all day today. Baby, that's not my problem. Take that up with her. Take that up with her, baby. Why are you telling me? I don't care. I barely like you. So we're decorating, we getting it all set up. I go check on her constantly. I'm checking on her, making sure she's okay. I tell her, okay, it's time to come downstairs. Let's start the party. Let's get drunk. Let's have fun. I'm still recording for the fucking shit to make this reality TV show video. I'm making confessionals, everything while I'm doing all of this bullshit, bro. And then, the party starts. Okay? I just got off work and I just got home. There has been so much shit happening since I posted these 2 parts, which I'm not going to get into right now because this is going to be part 3. Before I finish this story, I don't care that, like, I don't care if you're upset. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. This is my story to tell. And it's from my perspective of everything that happened to me during this whole experience. Now, I care about how she feels 100%. It wasn't my intention to post this and make her feel bad, bro. And she doesn't feel bad about me telling my story. She feels bad because I exposed some shit that she didn't want people to know. Which I apologize for, okay? I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. It's a little slip up in the process. But I already gave the disclaimer, so I'm going to go back into the shit, okay? Because if you thought I wasn't finishing the story, you're crazy. Hold on. So, party starts. She comes downstairs. It was fun. We were having a ball. We start drinking. The Maid of Honor's husband was bartending, and it was so cute. I got drunk as a motherfucker. I was drunk as shit, bro. I had a fucking ball. We were taking pictures. Like, it was a lot of fun. We did, we swapped painting. Like, we did painting with a twist, kind of. And we swapped our paintings every 5 minutes. We did Disney theme because we are Disney adults, and I'm not mad about it. We did Disney theme. It was so fun, so cute. I had a ball, was recording, got drunky. Everybody else started getting there. I want to say like 7 o'clock. Everybody that else was flying in got there. But by then, me and my bestie bitch were drunk as a fucker. We were drunk. Everybody else was not as drunk as us. I had back-to-back drinks. I finished one of her drinks. We were playing games. I was fucked up, right? Now, before this, prior to this was like Thursday, and I didn't just tell Mayela, I had told pretty much everybody else. I was like, I don't get paid until tomorrow. Like, we're going to dinner. I don't have money for that shit. I don't want to. Like, but what ended up happening is I was fucked up by this point, so I really can't say too much about the rest of the evening. What I will say is we left for dinner. I think I was fucked up, and I was talking to the matron of honor in there, and I was like, girl, I'm drunk. And then we went to dinner. I was wearing like a jean romper, titties out. My titties would not stay in all night. Don't really know what the fuck happened at dinner. I was really fucked up. And then from dinner, we went somewhere, I think in San Juan. And we went to this penis waffle place. And me and her got penis popsicles. It was so cute. Oh, we took pictures. It was so much fun. But I was like the main one spending time with her. I felt like, in my opinion, everybody else was kind of just like, there hanging out. But I was like, it was just me and her walking and yapping and being drunk and having a ball. It was so much fun. I loved it so much. We took a bunch of pictures. We did photo booth photos. I met some amazing people. It was a great time. And then after we got back to the Airbnb, I think at like 11 o'clock, and I don't know what happened after that. I woke up the next morning. I know that. The next day was Friday. Me and my bestie woke up at 6 a.m. Like, both of us woke up at the same time. Our rooms were across from each other. So she texted me and she was like, bitch, why am I awake? And I was like, bitch, why am I awake? And then she texted me and was like, let the groomsmen and all of them inside, because they had slept in the car the night before from their bachelor party, which was hilarious. So I went downstairs. I let them inside. I cooked breakfast for everybody. The maid of honor helped me with the eggs. There was pastries and everything. We made coffee. Everything was fine. We had a great morning. And then we went to the rainforest. 10 out of 10 experience. We went to the rainforest, had a ball, got in the water. There was stuff that they needed to happen for the venue, because Friday was the plan to do all the DIY things. to like build everything for the wedding. So this was Friday, and then we were leaving the rainforest, and it was a chill day because she was also doing her rehearsal dinner and stuff. So it was very chill. She went and got some Puerto Rican coffee or something, and then we went back to the Airbnb, and the rehearsal dinner had started, and then we started building everything. So I was putting together her bouquet, and by this point, I had a headache. I was very frustrated. I was getting overstimulated, and people were starting to piss me off. And I was trying not to take it out on anybody, but I hadn't eaten anything that day. I had a headache, and I was kind of frustrated with the bouquet, trying to make sure it was pretty and everything. And then we also had to make the boutonnieres and the bridesmaid corsages and all of those things. So I was like telling people to help. I was trying to organize, make everything get situated with that, because everybody else like that was in the wedding was outside doing the rehearsal dinner stuff, like practicing the ceremony and everything. So I'm building the bouquet. One of the guys there, pretty much all the guys there were trying to get me to like calm down, and they were like, we can tell you're frustrated, you need a drink. And I was like, I don't want a drink, I have a headache. And then they had built the arches and all of this, and they were so sweet. They were being nice to me. They were trying to get me to like calm down and everything, because it was very clear I was very overstimulated and irritated. So we were working on the bouquet or whatever, and then I was like, okay, one of the girls came in, because she was making the arches, and she came in and hadn't put the flowers on the arches or whatever. And she was like, I was like, what are you doing? Because mind you, I'm irritated. Like, I'm overstimulated, I'm irritated as fuck. So she came in, and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I was like, you need to build the arches. She goes, I'm tired. I said, oh, I don't give a fuck. Go build the arch. And then she was like, oh, like, but I'm tired, da, da, da. And then they started making side comments, and she was like, I'm not even in the wedding. I don't know why I have to put it together. Like, I'm not in the wedding party, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's when I was like about to snap. So at that point, I think walked away to go smoke a cigarette, because during this process I was trying not to smoke cigarettes, because I had told my bestie or whatever, I told her I wasn't gonna smoke, but I ended up smoking anyway because I was very stressed that whole trip. So I went to go smoke a cigarette. I had called my cousin, and I was like crashing the fuck out, because I'm like, they're pissing me off. It doesn't matter if you're not in the wedding party, bitch. You're here for a wedding. You're staying in the Airbnb. You need to help, right? So that happened, and then I came back inside, and it was like we were focusing on the arches, and we were trying to figure out how to put the flowers on it and everything. And that same girl was like, why did we take so long to do this? Why did we start so late? And I went off. I'm not gonna lie, I went off on her. I said, I literally was like, it doesn't fucking matter why it took so long or why we're starting late. We're here for the bride and the groom. We're setting up their wedding shit. You're gonna fucking do it, and you're gonna be fine. So like, shut the fuck up and do it. And no one said anything, and like everybody was surrounded us, and they were just staring, because I literally went off on her, and I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. I'm not. Baby, if you see this, I'm not mad about it, and I'd do it again. The fuck? So I went off on her and was like, it doesn't fucking matter if you're not in the wedding. Build this fucking arch. And then the guys went to the store to get some like spray adhesive and some like spray can stuff so we could paint it so you couldn't see everything underneath or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I took that time to take like a break. Went to go like outside, because she had wanted me to record some of the pre-setup for this, like the rehearsal dinner stuff. So I went to record that and talked to the maid of honor, and she was like, thank you for helping, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, because I'm about to cuss somebody the fuck out. I had been telling them all night, I'm about to snap on somebody. I just cussed this girl out. Who's next? Because that's really why I was there. Because she was like, we had already discussed this prior. She was like, yeah, the maid of honor is to be nice and to get things organized, and I'm there to cuss some motherfucker out if they need to be, because that's what I'm there for. And I'm not mad about it. I'd do it again to this day. If I could repeat this whole shit, I wouldn't change a motherfucking thing, and I'd cuss you motherfuckers out a little bit more. I don't care. I'd do it again. Anyway, so they went to do that. I took a break. I ate. The reason I had a headache was because I wasn't wearing my glasses. So I found my glasses. They came back, and I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't wearing my glasses. My headache's gone. They were like, ah, crazy work. And we kept like putting things together. And then the rehearsal dinner was over. So everybody came back inside, and we were trying to keep her away from like the chaos of building everything. So they got her drunk off rip. They were like, let's get her drunk and make sure she doesn't see this shit. And I was like, period, clock it. Make sure she doesn't see this mess. But at this point, I was very overstimulated. But I had finished her bouquet and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm finna calm the fuck down. Like, I need a break, right? So, I had put the rest of them on the rest of the flower shit at that point. Where did we leave off? We left off with, they was fixing the fucking flowers. Before they fixed the fucking flowers, I had to make the matron of honor do something at this point. Cause baby, she was pissing me off. So I want to add back to the bachelorette night. Remember, I was drunk as fuck, and I told y'all I didn't have any fucking money while I was out there. So I was drunk as fuck, and apparently her and her husband paid for my food. So I went up to them and I was like, hey, y'all paid for my food. How much? Like, I want to pay you back for paying for my food. Because it was Friday. I had got paid that day. So I paid her. So I was like, okay, I'll Venmo you. My Venmo wasn't working, so I was going to figure that shit out later. So once they came back in from the rehearsal dinner and they got the bride drunk, and I finished her bouquet and everything, one of the guys was making the boutonnieres for the groom and stuff. And then the matron of honor came in and I was like, do you want to do something? And she was like, yeah, let me help. And so I was like, well, make the bridesmaids corsages. There was 3 corsages. Mind you, technically there was 2 bridesmaids, but I'm getting the 3rd one, ho. So she's making the corsage and she goes, why are there 3? One of them's for me, you stupid bitch. And she was like, oh, okay. Girl, don't piss me off. So I went in the living room or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, it's time for me to put everyone's press-ons on. The wedding is tomorrow. So I told the matron of honor, I was like, are you done with the corsages? She said, yes. I said, okay, I'm gonna put your press-ons on. So she sits next to me. Bride's drunk as shit now, and we're sitting there. They kept handing me drinks, and I was not drinking them. I did not want to get drunk at that point. Mind you, bachelorette night, I was fucked. So I was not trying to drink, and I was stressed, and I was like, bro, I just want this wedding shit built, and I'm gonna put your press-ons on. So I'm putting her press-ons on, and the bride's sitting at the couch with us, and she's drunk. Everybody's getting lit. Everyone's like in a very chill mood now. It's not chill time to me. You need to be prepping. Okay. So I do, I put on her press-ons, and she's talking to me, and she goes, oh, you know, wedding's tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I know the wedding's tomorrow. I'm shocked somebody's not gonna crash this motherfucker. She was like, oh, I don't think so-and-so is gonna be there. And I was like, and she was talking about the maid of honor that got fired. And I was like, yeah, she ain't coming. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about that other person that I will not mention anymore, because I really thought that man was gonna crash that fucking wedding, baby. But he didn't. So, she was like, oh, who are you talking about? I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Wasn't none of her fucking business. And she was like, Myella didn't, she was like, the bride didn't tell me anything about that. I was like, okay, so you should probably talk to her. So it was giving the whole trip, it was giving she was mad because I know more about the bride than she fucking does. That's not my issue. The bride don't even like you, for real. Moving on. So I'm doing her press-ons, and I was, you know, we're all chilling, talking or whatever. And I had dropped one of her press-ons, and I was counting. I was like, damn, how many fingers do you have? She goes, 20, because that's how much I fucking owed her for dinner. And I looked at her, side-eyed her, and put the rest of her nails on. I'm way too fucking nice at this point. I'm way too fucking nice. Again, this is not my wedding. I just want the bride to be happy. I'm there just to make sure she's happy. And that's what I kept saying. I said, I'm just here to make sure she's happy, bro. So I'm putting, girl, then the bride goes, she looks at me and she goes, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I miss you. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so happy you're here. I said, I love you too. And finished putting on the press-ons, right? But she said this in front of the matron of honor and like a couple other people. Everybody, no one else was paying attention. But she said it in front of the matron, and she like looked and was pissy again. Not my issue. And then she gave me a fake ass hug and went off to do something. And then I called the maid of honor over, and I did her press-ons. One of her thumbs was a little too small, so I said, we'll put it on tomorrow. And they and then what happened after that? And then I disappeared like a thief in the night. Okay. because I was trying to calm down. I was like, this is my relaxed time at this point, because I had gotten maybe a total of 10 to 12 hours of sleep that whole fucking week so far. The wedding was the next day and I still hadn't really slept. So we had decided that the bride wasn't going to prep, like set up the venue and shit, obviously, which means I was going to stay home at the Airbnb with her all fucking day until the wedding to get her ready for the wedding and make sure she was okay. So it's like 12 o'clock and I go outside because they are still doing the arches and they're sitting there not putting any flowers on them. I was like, so what's going on? They said, we don't know what pattern to do. I said, use your creative mind. Just put them on there. They said, we're so sick of hearing use your creative freedom. So I put a whole pattern on like a little portion of the arches. And I said, do this. And left. Because I'm done. Like, I'm done at this point. So I went to go find the bride, because at this point it was getting late. We would have to get up early because I had to do her hair, her makeup, make sure her dress, like I had to do all of that. So I went to find her. She hadn't written her vows, which, okay, girl. So I went to find her. She was drunk as a skunk. Upstairs, I grabbed her. I walked her hand in hand like a little baby to her room, put her in the bed. I told her husband, I said, hey, you can't sleep in here tonight. She will kill you if she wakes up and you're still in here. He said, I know. I'm about to leave and like pack my stuff and go. And I was like, okay. I went to sleep. I have to get up at 6 a.m. with this hoe as well. So I went to sleep. I had messaged him and I was like, honestly, I know we're not cool or anything, but I do appreciate everything you've done for her. You're actually a really good guy for her. And I know we're not close or anything, but like, kudos to you. Very grateful, right? And I went to sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m. I went downstairs because it's wedding day. It's wedding day, bro. It's wedding day. I went downstairs 6 a.m. Why is only the maid of honor and her fiance up? Why is everyone asleep? Y'all should be prepping. I go downstairs. She's like, we've already packed the car. We're taking it to the venue. We're going to go set up. I say, okay. I said, what's left? She goes, we need to set up the like table arrangement board and we need to finish the photo mirror. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that before I wake her up. She's like, okay. I do the whole table arrangement, decorate it, put it all up there. And I didn't know how to use a Cricut, so I didn't really finish the mirror. And I was like, I'll make somebody else do that because I don't know how to use that shit. And me and the maid of honor had agreed, if we need each other, call. The whole thing was call each other that day. Was it call the matron of honor? No. Was it call me? Yeah. So I finally wake up the bride. She's depressed as hell. She is depressed, ready to boo-hoo cry as hell. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, girl. Why are you sad? It's your wedding day. You should be jumping for joy right now. No, sad as a motherfucker. So I tell her, get in the shower, wash your hair so I can start doing your hair. And I gave her my laptop so she could listen to our sad girl playlist while she took a shower. I go in the room. I go in my room, which again is across the hall from her, and I start setting up the makeup and the hair stuff. So finally she's like, I'm ready. And then she tells me, I don't think I should have my phone today. Everyone's blowing me up about wedding stuff. It's stressing me out. So she gives me her phone so I can take her phone calls and my phone calls the whole morning, right? So I take her phone. I'm answering it when people call her. I'm answering it when people call me. And I start doing her hair. I finger coiled each curl in her hair. And then styled it. Do you know how fucking long that took me? Each curl. And then the girl I don't fucking like finally gets here. And she comes upstairs. We'll come back to that. Because I'm finger coiling her hair. Finally, the matron of honor woke up. I said, okay, you need to do something at this point, baby. You need to do something because I got to focus on the bride today. She's like, okay, what can I do? I'm like, do the mirror. And then she did the mirror. She comes upstairs and she's like, okay, is there anything else I can do? I said, yeah, her wedding dress is in my room. Can you steam it? And she's like, why is it in? So anyway, she's like, why is it in your room? Who else's room would it be in, baby? Let's be for real. But prior to this, as I'm finger coiling her hair, the bride tells me that she wanted to do a photo shoot with the bridal party, right? And that she's gonna wear like a white robe that says bride, and the maid of honor and matron of honor are gonna wear black, and she wanted me to wear a black robe too. But she told me like the black robe I was supposed to wear like had the wrong name on it or whatever. It didn't say bridesmaid, it said like mother of the groom or something, and that she had to return it. I'm not editing that out. Anyway, she had to return it, and then I said, okay, well, we have to, she said, well, I want you to get a robe. So one of the guys had to go with another friend of ours, because a friend of ours didn't have a suit, so he had to go get a suit day of the wedding, which is fine. It's kind of got nothing to do with that. Well, I told the guy, because he wasn't in the bridal party, he was just kind of helping out, and I was like, hey, can you help him find a suit, and while y'all are out, can you find a black robe, like anywhere? And then the bride's like, I also don't have a garter. I said, find like elastic and lace and we'll get her garter. So they go on a mission to do all of that. I'm doing her hair. I finish her hair. And then I start her makeup, and I was like halfway through doing her makeup, and then I was like, we looked at the clock, and I was like, oh, I have to get ready now. Like, it's time for me to get ready and the bridesmaids to get ready, and the maid of honor had just got back from setting up the venue. And so she started getting ready, and I started getting, I said, okay, all we have left is like your blush and lipstick, so like go do something. Like, so yeah, at this point she had finally calmed down. She had written her vows, and she was very happy at this point because she realized like how much she loves her husband and how much she'd always known she was going to marry him, and she didn't really realize that until she was writing her vows. So she was happy now, and I was like, okay, be gone so I can get ready. So I got ready. And then she came back upstairs, and she was like, they said they can't find the robe, so it doesn't even matter. You don't need to wear it. So I'll say throughout this process of me being there, I felt useless. And I know I was doing a lot, but I felt like a placeholder, right? So throughout all of this, I just felt like I was just there to like fill a void for her. I didn't feel like I had a purpose. Does that have to do with me? Yeah, I would say a little bit, but I really didn't feel like I had a purpose, and I felt like I kept being excluded from things, or like I just felt very excluded. Mind you, I was the only black person there. I'm gonna let that sit. I was the only black person there. Now, so she's telling me all of this stuff, and then she's like, you don't need to wear the robe. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I got upset. Like, I was like, okay. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Because I'm not going to tell you, like, how upset I've been this past week with dealing with all of this stuff and all of these people pissing me off and everything. Because this is your wedding day. I don't want to upset you on your wedding day. So I said, don't worry about it. And she's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, it's fine. So we all got dressed in our bridesmaid shit. Like, I wore the bridesmaid dress because I bought a bridesmaid's dress. My mom had to give me money to get like shoes for the wedding and stuff because she wanted us to wear Converse and all this other stuff, which money I didn't have, again, as we know. So I had to do all of that. And then I got fully dressed, makeup done. I grab her dress. I grab everything. We're leaving. The maid of honor's and about to drive us there. And the matron of honor is like, oh, I have to pick up my mom. Girl, the wedding's in like an hour. What are you talking about? So the bride got mad, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, she's barely ready, and we were late as fuck, right? So we rush out. Bride's got an attitude. She's like really upset. And then she's like, where's my parents? Like, there was just so much going on that was not put together. Like, she didn't know where her parents were. She didn't know how her parents were getting there. She didn't know who picked them up. There was just a lot going on. And then her husband was calling me, and he was like, let me know when you guys get here so I can make sure I'm hidden and I don't see her, all this other stuff. So we were trying to get that together and like calm down throughout it and everything, because she was getting a migraine because of stress. And I was like, I don't have Tylenol, and she had popped ibuprofen because she had it in her bag. I said, period, girl, stay ready. So we get to the venue. I'm hiding her. We're rushing inside so she can finish getting dressed, because she was upset because she didn't think we'd have time to get her getting ready photos. We ended up having time for that, so we took those. I was putting her veil on. I was helping the maid of honor with her hair. Like, it was so cute. I was about to boo-hoo fucking cry. I was literally about to cry because I was like, oh my God, you're getting married, bro. And And I put her veil on. I had given her, she had something old, something new, but she didn't have anything borrowed or blue. So I gave her a gold ring of mine that had a blue gemstone. It was a mood ring, but it was a blue gemstone and it was gold. So it was borrowed and blue all in one, and she wore that day. And then we took the photos or whatever, and it's getting closer to ceremony time, and I realize more and more, I am not in this wedding. I'm not the maid of honor. I'm not the matron. I'm not even a bridesmaid. And now I have to go in the bridesmaid's dress, in the shoes, and sit in the ceremony. And I start to break. At this point, I was running on no sleep. I'd been with her for 7 days, little sleep, stress, trying to get all this situated, and I was breaking at this point because now it was almost over. So I leave and I tell her bye, like I'm gonna go sit in the ceremony. And she's like, bye, I'll see you soon. And I go to the ceremony. I'm saying hi to everybody. I sit front row by myself. No one sat in the front rows. Her parents didn't even sit in the front row, which I thought was crazy. I sat front row by myself in the dress and the shoes, because we were switching shoes, so I was wearing like regular shoes or whatever. And then I hear behind me, what is she doing? Why isn't she up there? Why is she just sitting in the front? Don't know who said it. I'm not turning around to look, but I heard it. I ignored it and let the ceremony start. Ceremony was beautiful. After the ceremony, we took pictures, right? After the ceremony, I went with them to change shoes into the Converse. The whole reason I fucking got them. So I did that, and afterwards we went and took pictures. And again, the matron of honor had an attitude with me. I really don't think she liked me. And I had told the bride, I said, she does not like me. I had told her. And she was like, you don't think so? I said, no, she doesn't like me. And I don't like her. It's fine. Don't really care. But we were taking pictures, the bridal party, and I went and got in those photos. And it was very clear that she was upset that I was in her photos. The bride wasn't upset I was in the photos. But the bridesmaids, like the rest of them hoes, was upset that I was in the photos. Because then they kicked me out of the very last photo and was like, we just want one with us three. And I said, okay, bye. And I dipped out. See you later. And I went back inside and I cried. I cried for a long time. I cried so long, I missed her walking into her reception and half of her first dance because I was inside crying. And I was no longer crying because the bride had got married. I was crying because I am just a placeholder in your life and I'm not actually of importance. Like, I'm just here as a helper bee. I'm not actually important to you, is how I was feeling. And I put on some shades or whatever, and I went outside back to the reception. I had to sneak into the reception, and I was sitting at the front table closest to her. I've never felt that kind of hurt before. Like, I've been through some shit, but the way I was feeling that day broke something in me a little bit. I was so hurt. So I was crying at the wedding, and I was so sad and frustrated at this point, and everyone thought I was crying because of how beautiful my girl got married. No, I'm crying because you don't actually care. Like, I was just a worker bee. I was just a helper. Like, I'm just a placeholder for you. And that's what I was feeling in the moment. So what I ended up doing is I ended up leaving and going back to the Airbnb. And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm leaving. The wedding had just started. Like, the reception realistically had just started. We had just ate, and I was like, I'm leaving. And she got upset. She was like, why are you leaving? I said, I'm tired. I'm fucking exhausted. I've had barely any sleep. I've barely eaten. Like, I'm exhausted, and I don't have the energy. I don't want to party, bro. So she was like, okay, whatever. She was a little irritated, and I was like, okay. I went and did all that, called my Uber, and then went back to her. I said, okay, I'm leaving, bye. She gave me a hug. She said, I'll see you later. I went back, I cleaned up as much as I could, put things, kind of organized it a little bit, and then cleaned up my room and packed my shit, and I went to sleep. And it was the first night that I really got a full fucking night's of sleep. I woke up the next morning and she had texted me. And this is why I say, you guys, that I'm not upset at her, but more so the situation of everything that happened. Because she showed me her gratefulness, and I am going to put the screenshot here of what she said to me the next morning, because she did message me and say she doesn't care about posting. Okay, well, I'm going to post it anyway. I'm going to put the receipts, okay? So this is what she said to me the next day, and this was why I was so grateful. And this is also why it took me so long to even tell the story, because I wasn't sure if I was going to. Now, after that, we went to like a brunch, everybody went to a brunch together, and the next day or whatever. But I had left the wedding, and everybody was asking me why I was leaving. They were trying to convince me to stay. And I was like, did you know I've been with her? I literally told her father-in-law, like a bunch of people, I was like, did you know I've been with her for 7 days straight, and I've gotten 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night? They were like, oh shit, we had no fucking idea you had done that. And I said, yeah. They were like, yeah, go get some rest. Dead ass. They were like, we had no idea you'd been with her that long. Yeah, bro. Yeah, no sleep. I'm leaving. So anyway, yeah, the next day we had brunch or whatever. We're all talking, chit-chatting or whatever. Now, the table, we were all waiting for so long, and then she was like, oh, there's no room for another person. I said, well, I'll leave. You can have brunch with all of these people, and I'll go explore Puerto Rico before I have to catch my flight. Which I left. I bought some gift shop things. I had given her a bracelet, and I was going to go get a piercing. Now she called me while I was trying to get my piercing and was like, oh, we have an extra seat for you. I said, okay. So I sat with her, barely ate anything. I had food or whatever. I paid for my own fucking food, but I really wasn't hungry, cause I was just depressed at this point. I was ready to fucking go. So I sent her the money for my food. I sent her the money that the matron and her husband had paid for my dinner. I paid back a girl that was also there because she had bought cigarettes and given me cash so I could get food, because I forgot I needed cash for street food. So I paid her back for that as well. And then I went back to the Airbnb, packed my shit, and left. Now, before I left, I don't know if I said this, but before I left, the centerpieces were like very beautiful Disney lanterns. And I was like, oh, the matron and her husband came back, and I was like, oh, I can't remember which lantern that the bride wanted to keep. So I'm going to take this one because I want the Princess Tiana, but I know she likes Princess Tiana. So I'm just going to take the Wally one. And then they were like, oh, we have extra liquor. Do you want like a bottle? And I was like, yeah, just give me the tequila. I'll take that too. And I left. Now, they kept recording confessionals and videos after I was already gone because they wanted the video and everything. She messaged me and told me, I said, well, make sure it's in landscape, like sideways mode, blah, blah, blah. She goes, oh, it's not. And I was like, then I can't use the footage, bro. And then she was like, oh, well, we'll fix it, blah, 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 and we'll send it to you. I said, okay, cool. Now, I decided to watch the confessionals on the plane at this point, because now I'm like, I told them when they were making them, I won't watch your confessionals while I'm here. Like, I won't watch them while we are all in the same house, because it is on my phone, but I will not watch them for y'all's privacy so you can actually feel comfortable making them. I did watch 2 of them out of curiosity, but I didn't finish the whole thing. I had watched the maid of honors and the grooms, and I didn't watch their whole thing because I was like, yeah, I really shouldn't watch these while I'm out here, like I said, so I didn't watch any of them while I was in Puerto Rico with them. I watched them on the plane. And when I watched them on the plane, I realized, yeah, everything I thought was happening, of them being rude, of them being snarky, of them doing all of that shit, was true, because they were also doing it in their confessionals in a way that it was more so like I would notice. Like, you see, I've done all this shit. You left for the Bachelorette, I did all this shit, and then you get in your confessional and say, you know I planned everything, you know I've done everything. Now, here's my issue with that. Now I have to give you a little bit of backstory as well, because before this, while we were together, and before we went to Puerto Rico, when I flew to Florida first, we were talking and doing all of these things, and she was like, I feel so bad, I need to pay them back, I need to help them, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, one, they're your friends, so they're not going to want you to pay them back for your wedding things. This is like your time. They're not going to want that. But in the same instance, which I did end up telling her, I said, you're like, what about me? What about me? Right? Because you're saying you have to pay them back, but you're not offering me anything. Now, we'll get to, I got back and everything, and I started working. I started trying to catch up because I was very behind after spending pretty much my rent on going to help her with her wedding. And then it got heated. She texted me because she was like, oh, they're asking for the videos. They're asking for the videos. Where's the video? Where's the Jersey Shore reality? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I was like, I don't have all the footage. I can't finish it. Another screenshot of what was said. I'm going to put that here. I said, I don't have it. I can't finish it. She goes, then send me the videos. Why? Because if you're not going to finish it, I didn't say I wasn't going to finish it. I said, I can't. Because your little matron didn't send me the footage that she said she was going to send me 2 months ago. So, and then that conversation left very dry. So the next day I messaged her, and I will be putting the screenshots of that conversation as well. I messaged her and I said, call me when you get the chance. Like, I really want to talk to you, but I want to talk to you on the phone. Like, call me. And she was obviously upset. She was like, I'm not going to fucking call you. Why do I need to call you? I don't like talking on the phone. Just send me a voice message. I feel like that's a good compromise. I said, it's not a compromise. I'm not compromising on this. I compromise for you in a lot of ways. And this one thing I will not be compromising on. You can call me or I have nothing left to say to you. And I meant it. And she got heated. Again, she started trying to blow up in my face, all the things she's done for me and all the things she's done for me since she's known me, right? But I've done things for you as well. Clear as state and point this situation, but mind you, there's other things I've done for you that I don't even talk about, okay? And never blow up in your face. So again, I reiterated, I will not be calling you. I will not be texting you. If you want to speak to me, you can call me. And when you want to call me, call me. Again, didn't go very fucking well. So I didn't talk to her. Like, I think it went a couple days because I was like, I'm not fucking texting you. I'm not doing any of that. And then we get to the point where she finally decided to call me. She messaged me because before this, she messaged me and she was like, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But she messaged me and she was like, I'm free this evening. It's my only free time, so I can call you today. I said, I'm on the way to get my hair done. When I make it to my location, I'll let you know and you can call me. My sister does my hair. So I was with my sister when she called. And I told my sister before she called, I said, she's about to call me. I'm getting my hair done, so I have to put her on speaker. I said, don't say anything, because I know her. I know her. She don't play like that. I said, don't say anything. Just let me talk to her about the situation. She said, okay. About 15 minutes later, she calls me. This conversation, bro, is the reason for where we are today. I'm not going to hold you. It's the reason for where we are today. Because there's just no fucking way, bro, that... So she calls me. Okay, so she calls me. She gets on the phone. She's on speaker. She's like, hey. I'm like, hey. Silence. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just start telling you how I feel. So I tell her everything that I've told y'all in the last 6 parts. Everything about how I was feeling. Everything about how they were treating me. Literally everything I just fucking told y'all in the last 7 parts is what I told her on the phone. So I'm telling her, I was like, I made the custom press. I did all this shit. And I told her, I was like, you don't understand how bad I'm struggling. I was like, I feel like you've been listening to me and I'm listening to me telling you I'm struggling, and you don't actually adhere it. Like, it's not comprehending to you how bad it is out here. You're telling me to ask my family for help. My family is struggling. We're all fucking struggling. We ain't got it like that. Everybody is going through shit right now, and you're not comprehending what I'm telling you. So I finished telling her all of this shit. She was silent the whole time I was talking. She was silent the whole time. She didn't have anything to say. So when it comes time I finish, she's like, okay, did you want a response or did you just want to vent it out? I said, I told you to call me so we could have a conversation. This isn't me venting. This is a conversation. So she responds, she goes, well, to start, when you said you don't like everybody, they told me as soon as the wedding was over that they don't fucking like you and that you're moody and aggressive. First of fucking all, if they told you and she was like, they were calling and complaining about you as soon as it was all over. All of those people called and complained to you about me, and you didn't think it was right to let me know immediately or ask me if I was okay. And she was like, you said you didn't want to talk about it. I said, that doesn't mean you don't tell me shit like that, bro. So she continues and she goes, yeah, they don't fucking like you. She goes, regarding you struggling, when you say you're struggling, I guess pettily, I don't help you because you owe me money. Now let's talk about that real fucking quick. We lived together for a year, right? We did a bunch of shit, helping each other throughout all this shit. When I left, I had packed all of my shit. There was a lot of shit I couldn't keep. She had thrown all my shit away. We already went over that. But I was set to pay for a clean out service of the place, right? Mind you, they were doing that because they wanted their security deposit back. I knew from living there, they weren't getting that deposit back. Whether they cleaned it out or not, they weren't going to get it back. So we did Molly made the service or whatever. Come time to pay for it, they didn't send me their portions. So my bonus mom ended up having to cover it because they didn't send me their portions. One girl is the other fucking girl I don't fucking like. I told you I'd mention her bitch ass later. I hate that hoe. I hate that hoe. I was nice to her from get-go. She's got a tattoo on her body that I created. Haha, bitch, it's on you forever. But I hate her. She's so disrespectful, so rude. She's fake, phony. She gives thinking she lies behind your back and thinks it won't come back to you. I fucking hate her. Bitch, bro. This whole time since that shit happened, they were waiting for me to come back because they thought I was gonna whoop her ass. That's how bad I don't like that hoe. She messages me and she's like, haha, I guess you'll be broke. I'm not paying you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, bitch, you think it's funny because I will come whoop your ass. Now, I have not, because I'm an adult. Let me know. I don't want to go to jail. But the bride messages me and she's like, I don't have it right now, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's fucking ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, I've never been mad at you before, but I'm so mad at you right now because you know I don't fucking have it. So why don't you? Like, what did you do that you don't fucking have it right now? To send me, like, I think it was like $100 and something for her portion, like some shit like that. Because it was like $400 or whatever for the clean. Anyway, and she's like, I just don't fucking have it. Also, you broke my vacuum by vacuuming and cleaning, and then you have cats, and you broke my vacuum, so blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. What does that have to do with you need to? So she sent me $70 something and was like, and the rest you could just charge because you broke my vacuum. I'm like, all right, what the fuck ever. Whatever, bro. So now I have to find a way to pay my bonus mom back because they did not give me, like, bro. So, then the fucking company comes to the home, dudes does their exam, and guess what? They still charge them for everything and they don't get their fucking shit back. Why? Because it's a fucking, they never want to give you your deposit back, dumb. So it was carpet cleaning or whatever. And they were like, Heaven, we think you should pay for the carpet cleaning because you had the cats and it's mostly in your room. Mind you, there's carpet all upstairs, so it can't just be me though. But okay. I understood that because I had cats and they were locked in the room because she had 2 dogs. So obviously it's confined. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. Should I have said that? Probably fucking not. Because why? You guys still didn't pay me your portions for that shit. I really shouldn't have to pay you goddamn dime. So anyway, she says I owe her $400 and something. Over the course of me moving here, I think I've sent her like $100 because I told her I'd pay her back, so I did. Sent her like $100 over the course I've been here. But then when she got on the fucking phone call and she was like, yeah, pettily, I don't help you because you owe me money. So every time you do something, I just kind of deduct that out of the money you owe me. How much money do you think I fucking owe you? Because I made 3 sets of custom press-ons and I asked you to ask the bridesmaids to pay for them. And you said, I don't want to ask them. They've done so much for me. Can I just pay you? I said, it's your wedding. Why would you pay for it? Like, fuck it. Don't worry about it, right? So she just deducted that from what I owe her, right? If you actually deducted the press-ons I made, baby, I don't owe you a dime at this point. Each set of those press-ons are a minimum of $100 fucking with a design. Baby. Okay. Any fucking way. So that's what she said on the phone. She goes, yeah, I don't pettily help you, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, I know you're struggling, but I'm struggling too. No, you're really not. Not in the sense that you, like, everybody has their own struggle, and I won't take that away from people. I'm very advocate. Everybody has their own struggle. Just because someone's struggling worse than you doesn't mean yours is invalid. I'm very advocate for that. But that's what she said on the phone. And I was like, oh, bitch, okay, whatever. And then she I can't remember what else she said, bro, but it was just a bunch of bullshit. She was very calm. She sounded irritated by the call. She sounded like she didn't want to be on the fucking phone. She was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. We get off the phone. I didn't talk to her for a while after that. And then she messaged me a couple days later, and she was like, hey, I should have asked before we got off the phone, but are we still friends? Because you just started a new job. You usually tell me stuff like that, and you didn't tell me, right? She was like, are we still friends? Like, where does this go from here? I said, you hurt me really fucking badly, and I need to process that shit to see if I want to continue being your friend. And then she was like, well, it was just a bunch of bullshit. Like, she just kept going. She was like, well, I've done so much for you. Bro, what does that have to do with how I feel? It doesn't. I was like, you hurt me, bro. I need time. And she was like, well, I sent you the Ireland stuff because we had gone out of the country together a year before around that time. And I was like, yeah, I saw it. Like, I was like, oh, if Ireland pops back up, I'll be sad because I do miss going there anyway. So we did start talking again. A couple days after that, we start talking here and there. But I'm not messaging her like I usually do. Like, I don't really talk to her as much. I work 14 to 18 hour days again. Like, I work all day again, so I'm not talking to her as much. I'm going through shit. I'm trying to get back stable. I'm trying to get my shit together. So she knows all of that through what we've been talking, and she's messaging me. She goes, I miss you. Can we talk today? Can we record the pod? I say, no, I don't have time. A couple days later, I miss you. I'm depressed. Can we talk? I was like, no, I don't have time. A couple days later, are you busy right now? I'm like, I go to lunch in a few minutes. You can call in. Come time for it, she doesn't call me. I don't fucking worry about it. I go on about my business. Finally, I'm like, oh, tomorrow I'm free. We can do it tomorrow. We don't do it tomorrow because why I got busy again, because I'm trying to get back stable. This goes on for a couple weeks, right? So I end up packing my whole shit and I move into this new place that I'm in now. Thank God. So grateful. Love my new area and everything. But I move, and like the night I was packing, she messages me and she's like, would you be sad if I died? Mind you, I'm panic packing because I moved the next day. I'm like, yes, what the fuck? Like, yes, I'd be sad if you died. What the fuck? And then she was like, I just feel like a burden, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, message her, I'm like, take some anti-sad pills, bitch, you're not a burden. I want y'all to know that she says this shit to me so frequently that at this point, when she said it in that call, it did not feel real. It was just bullshit to me at this point. And I hate to say that because I take that shit very seriously. But when she messaged me, I was like, come on, bro. Because after she did this, she turned her location off on like Snap and on her main location. So I told her husband, I said, you should find your wife. She's trying to off herself. He said, if you can't find her, how can I? I said, I'm 1,000 miles a fucking way. What do you want me to do? I text her. I tell her, call your husband. She's like, I don't want to talk to him. I said, I'm 1,000 miles away. What the fuck do you want me to do? And that brings us to today, these past couple days. She decides to message me after all of that shit happened and she goes, I don't think we should be friends anymore. I say, I accept your request to end this friendship. But she wanted to message me the other day when I started the story time on some bullshit. Hey. We not friends no more, baby. Why are you texting me? Okay, so boom. I post the story time because, mind you, if y'all see the original video I posted about this whole shit was a while ago, and I never posted it, but I started it recently because we're not friends anymore, and I was never going to post it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, because it's like, I wasn't sure if we're still going to be friends, or if I wanted to forgive and forget. Like, I didn't know how I felt about the situation. But she texted me and she was like, I don't think we should be friends anymore. You were so cold-hearted about me wanting to die. I've never felt that kind of hurt, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, it wasn't my intention to be cold-hearted, but like, what did you want me to do? I live 1,000 miles away. Like, what was I supposed to do? She goes, I really needed a friend. Da, 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 da. You could have called me. I was like, the same way I told you to call me is the same way you should have said, I need you to call me. I really need to talk to you. Because I've told her time and time again, when it comes to being unaliving yourself, that shit is serious, bro. It's not I want to die today, I want to die today. I've said that in the past, but baby, I've tried in the past as well. And those times that I've tried, I never let anyone know I was about to do it. So I've told her that as well. So when she did that, and she was like, it was very serious, I really want to die. I had just argued with my husband, which is why I was so depressed. And I was like, okay, if it was that serious, you could have called me. Because you could have called me. Right? So I don't play about that wanting to die stuff, bro. It comes to a point where you're not going to do it. And I pray to God that she never does. I do not want anyone to ever have to take their life or feel like they need to. I've done it in the past and tried in the past. It is not something worth going through, okay? It is very serious. But if you're constantly saying it as a jokey joke on a day-to-day basis, as if it's a joke, when you really mean it, there comes a time where people stop taking you seriously. Now, we had the discussion. She said, yeah, we shouldn't be friends anymore. I said, well, for my mental health, like, it was a back and forth. Why, I don't know. Because she was like, yeah, I just feel like blah, blah, blah. I was like, honestly, I can't deal with you anymore. Like, I have too much to go. I'm in survival mode. I don't have time to, like, cater to you. And she was like, well, if it's better for your mental capacity, yeah, we just shouldn't be friends. I said, okay. And left it at that. And then, you know what I did do? I sent her the video footage that I had taken from the week in Puerto Rico of the wedding stuff and some of the confessionals. There's a couple of them I ain't sent her ass. And won't, and deleted. And that was our last conversation. Mind you, I posted the story time the other day. She finally texted me. She's going off on me. She was like, you're telling everybody I'm a horrible fucking person, blah, blah, blah. I said, I never said you were a horrible person, but the situation that was happened is horrible. Right? And I'm doing this very calmly while I was telling her, which I know pissed her off more, which is not my problem. Because I was sending her voice notes, like, girl, I still gotta go to work. So she was like, da-da-da. And I was like, and I made sure your face wasn't in it. I didn't mean to say her name throughout this process. I'm not taking it out. Fuck it at this point. But, she was like, she told me, I don't care that you said my name. I don't care if you put my address or any of that shit in my face, da da da. She's upset because I said that shit in part 1, which I won't repeat. But she's upset because of the shit I said in part 1. She's upset because everyone who's seen it, that we both know has seen it, sent it to her, and sent it to her husband. That's not my issue, no offense, because I actually had a lot of them blocked, which means they're watching me from pages that they shouldn't be watching me from, or somebody else is watching it, sending it back to them because they recognize my face, not my fucking problem again. Nah. So she literally told me, she said she does not care that I'm telling the story. She cares about that one little thing because now everyone knows about it. And that brings me to the attention that you do not care about what I'm saying. You care that I'm not lying. You care that it's not a lie. And you have no rebuttal for it. That is, again, not my fucking issue. She kept bringing up, I've done so much for you, I should have never sticked up for you. I've done all these things for you, I should have never told, da da da. So I finally told her, you being a good friend to me and me being a good friend to you should not be blown back in my face. Like, it shouldn't. You're telling me you have to keep sticking up for me for people. I told her, I have to stick up for you constantly with my family and friends. And I do it so frequently, they look at me like I'm fucking insane for still talking to you to this day. But I don't tell you about it. Because why would I? Why would I tell you all of these people fucking hate you? Because I love you. So how those people feel about you mean to me? It doesn't. And I don't need to have to tell you that, but you have to tell me constantly. You have to remind me everything you've done for me constantly. But I don't bring up the shit I've done for you at all. Why? Because for what? That's how friendship's supposed to go in my mind. You do for me, I do for you. If we both need help, that's just how the shit goes. I shouldn't have to bring up everything I've done to you to prove a point of what? Making me seem ungrateful? I've never been ungrateful. I told her all the time how grateful I was for her. I tell people all the time how grateful I am. But I have not gotten that in return except for the wedding shit. So mind you, what the fuck, like really what the fuck is going on? So she's blocked me on everything. She's blocked all of it. Everything's gone and done. And honestly, bro, that's fine with me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but that's fine with me. Because to be angry that I'm telling the story, not that I'm telling the story, but to be angry that I'm telling the truth, says more about you than it does for me. You handle your repercussions of your life and leave me the fuck out of it. I said what I said. I meant what the fuck I said. That's it. That's all. And to everyone else, thank you for watching. I guess. I don't fucking know. I really just I didn't expect people to watch it for real. I just wanted to get it off my chest. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I'm not gonna hold you. I've been holding this shit in way too fucking long. So, yeah. That's it. That's all. I do wish her the best. I still don't hate her to this fucking day. I ain't got shit else for you, baby. I ain't got shit else to give you. I don't. So, bye.